Okay, so in this video, I am going to show you guys how to go from the general form of a circle. So that's the general form, and this is for a circle, and I want to show you guys how to change it into the standard form, right? So our ultimate goal in this case is to change it to um, this form right here, right? It's going to be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared and equal to some radius squared, right? So our ultimate goal is to get it to look like this, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Um, so the first thing you guys want to do is you want to go ahead and put all of your x's and all of your y's together, okay? So this is important for us to go ahead and complete the square. So let's say we have our x squared over here. We're going to move this 8x with it as well. So negative 8x goes here. And there's no other x's, so what we'll do is we'll just put plus a little line right there, and I'll show you guys why I'm doing that right now, okay? Then we're going to have plus y squared plus 12y. And then we're going to do another little line right there, okay? And also, off the bat, what you guys should do is move this constant over here to the other side, okay? So then this is going to be equal to negative 16, okay? And then I'm also going to do two little boxes right here. And this has to do with these other boxes right here. I'll show you guys what I'm doing these, or why I'm doing these little lines, okay? So, first things first, let's go ahead and start by completing the square. If you guys don't remember completing the square very much, um, it's pretty much, you're trying to make this part right here factorable, okay? So our ultimate goal is to be able to factor it, but completing the square is a nice little trick we can use to do that, okay? So I'm going to do everything I do when I'm completing the square in a different color. So let's pick a, let's say we'll do teal. So everything I'm going to do for completing the square is going to be in teal. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at this number right here, okay? So we want to look at the coefficient of the x value, okay? And right now we're only focusing on x. Eventually we'll do the y as well, okay? So once we see this number, we see that we're going to have negative 8, right? Oops, it's ugly. Let me erase that. So we're going to have negative 8 right here, right? Divided by 2. Always divided by 2. It's just part of the process, okay? So we're going to take negative 8 divided by 2, and that is going to give us negative 4, okay? Next, we're going to take this negative 4, and then we are going to square it. So negative 4 squared, so this is going to give us positive 16. So we're going to take that 16 and plug it into this area right here. So what we do to one part of the equation, we must also do to the other side, and that is just to do with keeping the equation balanced and not changing it, right? So we are going to also put this 16 right here. Okay, cool. So that's done. We're already done with the x's. Now let's do the y's. So same process. We're going to look at this number right here. So it's going to be 12 divided by 2, and this is going to be equal to 6. Okay. Then we're going to take this 6 and square it. So 6 squared equals 36, right? And then we're going to take that value and stick it right there as well. And remember, what we do to one side of the equation, we must also do to the other side. So we're going to put a 36 right there as well, okay? So we're pretty much almost done. The hardest part is done. We've completed the square. We've organized everything in its relative parts. So let's go ahead and clean this up a little. So I'm going to switch back to green. So now let's write everything together in a nice manner. So we'll write it as x squared minus 8x plus 16. So this is all my x stuff, plus y squared plus 12y plus 36. and this is all going to be equal to whatever this sums up to. So because we have a negative 16 and a positive 16, both of these just end up canceling, so we get just 36. So we have 36 right there, okay? From here, the last thing we have to do is just go ahead and factor them now. A little trick you guys can use, and I've been showing this to my students, is that because we are completing the square, it's just, how can I say this? It just so happens to be that this part right here, when you divided the coefficient by 2, this answer is going to be the other part of the factored, I guess factored part. We'll just say that. I don't know. I'll show you what I mean. So if you're good at factoring, you should know what this factors out to. But if not, eventually this will factor out to x minus 4 times x minus 4. Okay, and if you guys can see, we have x and then we're going to have a minus 4. Same thing as this right here. Okay, so the little trick you could use is that if you know what you get here, that's going to be the number and the sign from there. Okay, so then let's go ahead and do the y now. Well, if we use our little trick, we know that it's going to be y plus 6 in this case, right? Because the 6 was positive, times y plus 6 again. And whenever we complete the square, it's always going to be like this, where they're repeating. It's just the pattern that the that the completing the square does. Okay. So now we can rewrite this as x minus 4 to the second power, because there's 2 of them multiplying, plus y plus 6 squared equals, and this 36 we need to rewrite it so that it looks like r squared, right? So in order to do that, we do need to square root this. Luckily, this is a square rootable number, so the square root of 36 ends up giving us just 6, and then we would just put it as a squared. Okay, so if we were to evaluate this, so 6 squared gives us back 36. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So we've pretty much gone from this form right here all the way down to our standard form, and you can see that it does in fact look like the original form, right? So we have our center and our radius. So in this case, our center would end up being positive 4, negative 6, and our radius would be equal to just 6. Okay? So that's pretty much it. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't think I have to go over anything else. I'm not missing anything. I just wanted to cover going from general form to standard. Sorry. So yeah.